Hello everyone, thank you for joining us and welcome to our webinar exploring the advantages of multi-platform web conferencing. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at WolfVision's brand new multi-platform web conferencing solution for our sign-up product family, which we'll be launching very soon. My name is Jonathan Owen, I'm a solutions architect with WolfVision based in the UK, and if you've attended our virtual launch event last month, then you'll recognise my colleague Andreas Ganahl, who's one of our product and innovation managers, who's been heavily involved in the development of our new web conferencing solution. So Andreas, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. So last month during our product launch, you gave viewers a sneak preview, let's say. We received lots of questions afterwards, specifically about web conferencing. So today's webinar is really to take a deeper dive, a closer look at the new web conferencing solution for sign-up. So firstly, Andreas, if you could just explain the thought process behind the new solution, some of the challenges that you're hoping to overcome, and really what makes our solution different in the marketplace.
So thank you for the introduction, Jonathan. Yes, the last 2 years, they were challenging for all of us. We made a lot of experience when it comes to web conferencing, the workflows in universities, in schools, in meeting rooms. And what we found out, and we talk quite a lot to our customers and to our partners, is that the users, they have quite specific needs when it comes to the video conferencing part. So we thought, okay, let's rethink the workflow of web conferencing. How can we meet the requirements of our users? And what we found out when we talked with our when we had a talk with our customers and users, the setup time, that's really important. It should be a quick start of a video conference once a teacher is coming into a classroom or you're in a meeting room. So it should be a one button experience. By pushing one button, it should be automatically start the meeting. The user experience and the easy workflow, that's really important, and this is key. That's what we learned. It's sometimes hard to start a meeting by plugging in cables, changing cameras, typing in username and password on a screen or on a connected keyboard. The users, they don't want to do that. It should be a quick and easy start of a meeting. Also, what we learned, every person in the last 2 years, they found their solution for web conferencing. They are Teams users, they are Zoom users, they are users of other services such as WebEx and Jitsi and Big Blue Button and so on. And the user interface, they want to control their video conference, that should be their known user interface. So I think that's also a big and important point when it comes to usability. And last but not least, we learned it's not just starting a video conference and invite remote participants into a meeting or a classroom. It should be the same experience in this new hybrid world for the remote participants and also the in-room participants. So it is important that we can share all the contents which are shown on the screen of a sign-up. And all these points we put into our development, and I'm quite happy to show you our new solution today. And my colleague Thomas, he has recently created a brand new WolfVision Insights video, which shows the workflow of our new implementation. And I want to show you the video now live.
So while Andreas is prepping the video, if you've got any questions, please type them in the Q&A box below, and then I'll put some questions to Andreas after the video.
Welcome viewers. In this episode of WolfVision Insights, we are going to take a look at the multi-platform web conferencing solution built into sign-up systems. It's intuitive, easy to use, and it enables a standardized workflow to be used for connecting to and using multiple web conferencing services. In this video, we will show you how your conferences can be conveniently controlled using our WeSolution app running on your laptop, smartphone or tablet. Sessions run directly in a browser on a sign app, and this offers a big advantage because I don't need to stream full resolution audio and video back to my laptop or personal device, avoiding any bandwidth issues, and there's never any need to manually switch between my laptop camera and the room camera. The sign app only needs to send a browser-based view to my app. Let's take a look at how it works. Firstly, let's connect to the sign app using our WolfVision app. I'm going to use the app on my laptop as a controller for the web conference, and it also enables me to control my sign app content. To connect, I simply enter the connection ID shown in the sign up status bar. For extra security, this ID includes a PIN which refreshes after every connection. Full support is provided for Zoom and Microsoft Teams, and joining meetings is easy for other services such as FaceTime, WebEx, BlueJeans, Avaya, Whereby, Starleaf, and many more. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using Zoom. My scheduled meetings are shown on screen, and other sessions can be easily joined by pasting in the respective join code. I've got my Zoom login credentials already stored in the app on my personal device, and every time I start or join a call, they are simply pushed to the sign app. When I end the call, my credentials are automatically deleted from the sign app. Let's start a meeting. This opens up a new view on the app, enabling me to toggle between either control call, which shows the normal call interface, or the control content, which I can use to open content on sign app using the source menu. With a remote participant on the call, as usual, I get a large picture of the other person and a small image of room view above it. Changing to gallery view in Zoom means the remote participant and the room are now shown side by side. Now let's add some content. On the app, I simply toggle to control content and use the source menu to open content directly from the sign app. Remember, at this stage, the remote participant doesn't see the on-screen content yet. I can also easily share any on-screen content I want with remote meeting attendees, and this includes material from any laptop, smartphones or tablets that are screen mirroring to the local screen. My colleague Simon is sharing content from his iPad onto the screen. Now let's share this content with the remote participant by toggling back to the control call. Clicking on Share and then choosing either a single window or the entire content of the screen I want to share into the video conference. Multiple content is now shown together with the video conferencing screen in the room, and the shared content is highlighted with the green border on the screen. Even if I have my content displaying full screen in the room, I can still control the call by toggling to control call in the app. As you can see, I've got outstanding flexibility to share content both from my laptop and from others present in the room, allowing me to provide a consistent on-screen viewing experience for both in-room and remote participants at all times. And that's all there is to it. A superb multi-platform web conferencing solution built right into SignUp, ideal for hybrid working and learning environments of any size. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, I hope you all found that useful. Had a couple of questions about the video and if it's available afterwards. So we will be uploading it to our YouTube channel along with all the other WolfVision Insights videos that Thomas has produced. So yeah, check out our YouTube channel to find the video. So I've noted down a few questions. I've got a few questions of my own for Andreas, which I think I'll draw out some of the key points as well. So Andreas, if you're ready, I'm going to throw a few questions.
Ready, yes.
Okay. So first off then, starting with the basics. So in terms of web conferencing platforms, so what can we support on Synap?
Yes, Jonathan, we are supporting with all the features Teams and Zoom. Let me quickly share my screen with you to have a look at the app. And here we can see with Zoom and Teams, it is possible to store my user credentials on my app. And so I get access to my meeting room or to my Teams application and also to the scheduled meetings. But in addition, it's also possible to configure WebRTC-based rooms in my web conferencing tab here. So for example, WebEx, Jitsi, Big Blue Button, Blue Jeans, yeah, we had a lot of services already, can be stored here. All the protocols, all services which are based on the protocol of WebRTC can be pre-configured in the app. In addition, it's also possible that we just join a meeting. With this field in the vSolution app, it is possible to paste an invitation link into this field, and by a click on a button, Synap then will join into this meeting, which I'm invited to. In the future, we are planning to support more services with all the features such as access to the scheduled meetings and to the ad hoc meetings.
And then I guess a kind of direct follow-up to that. So in terms of users' accounts, so a typical user, are they using their own credentials to access those services, or are they room-based accounts?
Both is possible. What we saw in the video from Thomas, he's using his personal credentials, but it is also possible to store on the Synap itself room-based accounts. And also these room-based accounts can be directly started from the app and also be controlled from the app with all the possibilities to open and close the different contents.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is one of my questions. So in terms of the term bring your own meeting, now many people attending the webinar today will be familiar with that phrase. Lots of manufacturers approach it in different ways. We're doing it in a completely new way. So can you just tell us about the way we're kind of taking on bring your own meeting?
Yes, our approach is really to run the video conference on the Synap itself. There are other solutions and other workflows in the market. We think the big advantage of our solution is that all the streams are on the Synap itself, so we don't run into bandwidth issues. We saw that in the past that streaming back and forth video feeds and audio feeds can cause some bandwidth issues. Especially because we are most of the time wireless connected to the network. With our solution, all the connected cameras are directly joining into this web conference on the Synap itself. A big advantage also of our system, I think, is the easy workflow. As we saw in the video, we have our meeting with us on the app. We are logged in and just press on a button without the need of changing cameras or working with virtual screens, external screens. We can easily start the video conference on the Synap itself. Another advantage I see is really to have the focus on the screen. We all know the situation in the online meetings, in classrooms, or also in meeting rooms. If everybody is joined into the meeting, most of the time the focus is on their own device and not on the main screen. In our solution, everything is running on the Synap and the focus should stay also on the connected display. And as mentioned before, I think it's also really important that not just the bring your own device sessions can be shared into a video conference. All the contents which are shown on a Synap, also they should be shared into a video conference. And first of all, a connected visualizer to show objects on the screen, but also to share it into the video conference. And I think that's, with our approach, an easy way to combine these remote participants with the in-room participants and get the best out of it for these new hybrid workflows and the hybrid world.
Yeah, we're really talking about sort of taking the in-room collaborative experience without the compromise and shifting that online, which is really different. So you briefly touched upon it in your previous answer, but in terms of the types of content that can be shared there, so it's pretty much any input that can be made available on sign up can be shared with the remote audience.
Exactly. So as we saw in the video from Thomas, all the contents which are open on the screen of a sign app, that could be a document from a USB stick or a cloud drive, or it could be a connected HDMI source such as a visualizer or other cameras, documents, browser, whiteboards. Every content which is shown on the screen can also be shared into the video conference as a single window, but also the entire screen can be shared into the video conference to give the same experience for the remote participants and also the in-room participants.
So we've had lots of questions about this next one. So how do we handle meeting room peripherals such as cameras, microphones, and speakers on sign up?
As mentioned, we connect the cameras, for example, directly to the sign app, and we set it up on the sign app itself. So there's no streaming between the user device and the sign app itself. We support for USB, the UVC and UAC standard, which means all microphones, speakers, and cameras can be connected. Also, sound bars are supported, and we support this open standard. So all the different solutions and brands in the market can be connected to the system. With the Sign App and Sign App Core Pro with HDMI input, also a camera, an HDMI camera, can be used as a web conferencing camera. The admin decides which is the default setup, and this will always start automatically. Once a call is established, the default camera and the default microphone will be loaded. But it is also possible to toggle with your solution. For example, Teams, there is a toggling switch on the right bottom of the UI. We can then toggle between the different cameras. And for example, a workflow where a classroom, the first camera is pointing to the teacher and the second camera into the classroom. It is easy then with vSolution app to just toggle between the different views. And this is also supported with our solution.
Thanks. And can any of the sign-up devices support dual screen installations?
Yes, the Sign App and in the future, the Sign App Pro, they support this dual screen configuration. So for example, on the left screen could be the Teams call or the Zoom call, and on the right screen, the shared content at the same time. So while sharing into video conference, still the camera feeds from the remote participants are visible in the meeting room or in the classroom, and gives the best experience for these dual screen setups.
Right. Okay, next question. So is it possible to start the meeting and a screen share from the same device without introducing a tunneling or looping effect? So anyone who's familiar with this sort of technology will have come across this issue before. So how are we tackling that?
As we saw in the video from Thomas, we have these two different views. One is always the web conferencing view, and one is the control view for the sign. And with these two possibilities, with these two views into the session, it is possible to start the video conference from a device, but at the same time do a bring your own device session and, for example, show a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, without running into this loop tunnel effect. We find quite a smart way for that. So you will never experience that then while you're screen sharing and receiving, that you're running into this tunnel effect. And yeah, as mentioned, I think we find quite a smart way to eliminate this problem.
So right, I'm just going through some more of the questions, Andreas, here. So I'm going to throw a few more at you. So someone's asked, is this available on the latest firmware update? Does it need to be turned on? Can you answer that?
So once the firmware update will come, it is available. The default setting is that it is turned off, but if you are using Teams or Zoom before, it will be turned on. The apps will be available at the same time as the firmware. So it will be available for Windows, macOS, iOS and Android. So that's also a big advantage to use even your smartphone to start your meeting and push your credentials to the box. And one thing I want to also mention, we are sending your credentials and your meeting details to the system, but we ensure that when you stop the call, it will always be deleted on the system. So you don't have to be afraid that your credentials stay on the box and someone can use your credentials for the next call. Also, this security mechanism is built in.
Another question. So could someone use this solution with Google Meet? Now, in terms of WebRTC, I guess that's the big advantage with what we've developed here.
A lot of services, even FaceTime is nowadays on this WebRTC protocol, and all the services which are based on WebRTC, I try to name some of them, but the list is getting longer and longer every day, are supported by our system, because we are running really the WebRTC based calls in our sign-up itself, and they can be configured as the own room, or it is the possibility to join into one of these conferences.
So someone's asking, so which specific sign-up models is the conferencing solution available on? So we've added a few new products to the range this year. So can you just clarify which models users can access this functionality on?
The solution for web conferencing will be available for Sign-up Pure Pro, for the Sign-up Core Pro, and for the Sign-up, and also for the Sign-up Pro, which will come later, I would say in the next weeks, and also Sign-up Core, which was replaced with Sign-up Core Pro. Also, this device is supporting the new web conferencing way. The app can be downloaded in the iOS store or Play Store, and also on our website. And the good thing is all the apps and also the new firmware, which will come in the next time, is cost-free. So it's a free update for all these devices, and they can use this new workflow without any additional costs.
Great. Someone else is asking about the number of cameras we can support on a sign-up device.
So when it comes to the Sign-up Pure Pro and the Sign-up Pure Pro, then it's two USB cameras. And then when it goes to the Sign-up Core Pro and Sign-up Pro, depending on the HDMI inputs which are available. So for example, a Sign-up Pro would then be 2 HDMI cameras and 2 USB cameras, so up to 4. If you're not using these inputs for other sources such as a visualizer or Blu-ray player or whatever you want to connect to the system.
So someone else is asking, how does it work with Apple devices? So I guess this is relating to the app itself. So can you just tell us about the versions of the app that we'll be launching?
So there will be a version for the Mac OS, so for all MacBooks and Mac computers. Exactly the same look and feel as we saw it in the video from Thomas. He was showing the Windows app. It will also be available for iOS. That means for tablets, iPads, and smartphones, the iPhones in the case of Apple. But also for Android, tablets and smartphones, and Windows, as mentioned, for notebooks and all Windows computers.
Okay, great. And someone's asking, so when will the new firmware be available?
So the plan to release the new firmware and also the apps is end of Q1, beginning of Q2 this year. And the information about that will go out with our newsletter. And as mentioned, the update will be cost-free for our users, and also the apps can be downloaded. But if you're really interested in the new feature and you connect our sales team, we can show demos already with better versions of the firmware.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I've been testing it for a few weeks now with Andreas, and it's really encouraging to see how far it's come over the past few months, actually. So I think what we've all witnessed over the past sort of 24 months is technology and connectivity reducing in meeting spaces and teaching spaces. to accommodate these new hybrid workflows. And I think most kind of end users were forced to look at solutions on the market and had to accept some of the compromises. Whereas with the new solution that we're proposing here, it's really taking that rich in-room collaborative experience and transitioning the whole experience online without any of the compromises. So that's, for me, that's what sets this apart to everything else that's on the market. So absolutely, your local WolfVision representative can obviously arrange demos. We're in talks about projects for this year already. There's a lot of interest in the solution, and some really good questions coming in today from everyone. But yeah, I think just to reiterate sort of the points that Andreas has made in terms of what makes the solution unique, it is just taking that in-room experience without the compromises, and moving it online. And I think when you couple that with the integration with multiple conference platforms and the ability to be able to join any meeting on any platform, that's extremely powerful. I think even if your organization has adopted a standard for web conferencing, whether it's Teams or Zoom or another platform, there's always that scenario when you're invited by a third party on a different platform. How do you join that meeting? And that's a real big limitation of a lot of meeting spaces. So yeah, we're really proud that we've got this solution that we can bring to the market. Okay, let me just check if we've got any last questions.
It is also possible that we contact you if we cannot answer all the questions now in this live session afterwards. So we're gonna contact you via email and yeah, answer your questions if we didn't had the time to do it now in our webinar, just as an info.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to multitask on the fly at the moment, taking questions and put them straight to Andreas. So one last question, Andreas. So someone's asked whether we support the HDMI input for a web conference, asking if that's a new feature on SignUp.
No, the HDMI input was already possible to use it for web conferencing. There is a setting for that which enables the HDMI input as a web conferencing camera. So it is already available for SignUp Core Pro and SignUp.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we will endeavour to answer all your questions. We'll follow up via email later today. But I think I've kind of picked out the key points that are the questions that have been repeated there in the Q&A. So hopefully that's answered a lot of the questions for you. Of course, please get in touch with your local representative, contact us via the website, and we can direct you to them. And yeah, happy to talk about any projects coming up for this year. But yeah, exciting times, Andreas, and we're looking forward to the rest of 2022 and what the new web conferencing solution can offer.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and yeah, looking forward for releasing this new feature and hopefully make it a little bit easier to work in this new hybrid world.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining us. We hope to talk to you soon. We'll obviously be at ISE in a few months' time as well, so please stop by and see us. But yeah, absolutely, please keep in touch, and we'll see you all again soon.